Successfully Navigating Through Change. Olubusayo O. Aina, Ph.D. Table of Content. Prologue. Chapter 1. The Nature of Change. Chapter 2. The Psychology of Transition. Chapter 3. Identifying Your Relationship with Change. Chapter 4. Building Emotional Resilience. Chapter 5. Reframing Your Perspective. Chapter 6. Developing a Strong Identity. Chapter 7. Goal Setting in Times of Transition. Chapter 8. Strategic Action Planning. Chapter 9. Leveraging Support Systems. Chapter 10. Sustaining Momentum. Chapter 11. Becoming a Change Leader. Chapter 12. Living a Resilient Life. Epilogue. The Journey of Becoming. Prologue. Change rarely knocks softly. Sometimes it arrives with a quiet whisper of a new opportunity. Other times, it crashes into our lives with the force of an unexpected loss, a career shift, a move, or a personal transformation we never saw coming. No matter how it arrives, one thing is certain: change is inevitable, but how we respond is a choice. This book was written for those standing at the crossroads of what was and what will be, for those who feel the pull of growth but wrestle with the fear of uncertainty. Whether you are navigating a new career, healing from a loss, reimagining your purpose, or simply ready to step into a better version of yourself, this guide offers the tools to do more than just survive change. You will learn how to thrive through it. What you'll discover. In the chapters ahead, you'll uncover the psychology of change and why we resist it, how to reframe fear and see possibility where once there was doubt, strategies to sustain progress and turn transformation into a way of life. This is not a book of theories. It is a practical roadmap, designed to help you move from uncertainty to clarity, from resistance to empowerment, from surviving to thriving. Your invitation. As you read, remember this: change is not a disruption, it is an invitation. An invitation to release what no longer serves you, to embrace growth, and to create a life aligned with who you are becoming. Are you ready to take the first step? Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Nature of Change. Introduction. Why change feels uncomfortable. Change is one of the few constants in life. It is inevitable, relentless, and often arrives unannounced. Despite this, many of us find change uncomfortable, even frightening. Whether it's a career shift, a move to a new city, a health challenge, or a relationship transition, change disrupts the familiar patterns that provide us with a sense of stability and security. Our discomfort with change stems from uncertainty. We fear the unknown because it strips us of control. Yet every stage of human progress, from technological advancements to personal growth, has been born out of the very thing we resist most: transformation. The universal truth about change. The ancient Greek philosopher Heraclitus famously said, "The only constant in life is change." Nature reflects this truth beautifully. Seasons shift, rivers carve new paths, and living beings evolve continuously. Similarly, our lives are composed of chapters, each defined by moments of transition. Recognizing that change is not an interruption to life, but rather life itself, is the first step toward embracing it. Instead of perceiving it as a disruption, we can begin to view it as an opportunity for renewal and growth. 1.1 The Types of Change. Change can manifest in different ways, and understanding its nature allows us to respond more effectively. 1.1.1 Planned Change. Planned change occurs when we take conscious action to alter our circumstances. Examples include switching careers, starting a fitness journey, or moving to a new home. These changes are deliberate, often driven by a desire for improvement. 1.1.2 Unplanned Change. Life doesn't always give us the courtesy of preparation. Unplanned changes, like sudden job loss, unexpected illness, or a global crisis, force us to adapt rapidly. While they may initially feel destabilizing, unplanned changes often become catalysts for profound growth. 1.1.3 Incremental versus transformational change. Incremental change happens gradually. It might involve small lifestyle adjustments or minor tweaks in habits that lead to long-term improvement. Transformational change, on the other hand, is radical and life-altering. It shifts our worldview and often requires deep personal reinvention. 1.2 Why we resist change. Despite knowing that change is inevitable, resistance is a natural human response. Our brains are wired to seek familiarity because familiarity equals safety. The unknown, on the other hand, signals potential risk. 1.2.1 The comfort zone trap. The comfort zone is the psychological space where our activities and behaviors fit a predictable routine. While comfortable, this zone can limit growth. Resisting change often means clinging to outdated habits, beliefs, or environments, even when they no longer serve us. 1.2.2 Fear of failure. Many of us resist change because we fear making mistakes. But failure is not the opposite of success, it is part of it. Learning to see failure as feedback rather than defeat allows us to step into change with courage. 1.2.3 Loss of identity. Significant changes, such as ending a long-term relationship or leaving a career, can challenge our sense of self. Who are we without these roles or associations? This question, though unsettling, opens the door to redefining and rediscovering who we truly are. 1.3 The positive side of change. Although often uncomfortable, change carries immense potential for personal development. It presents opportunities to learn, to adapt, and to become more resilient. 1.3.1 Growth through disruption. Life's most challenging transitions often lead to its most profound breakthroughs. Divorce can lead to self-discovery, career shifts can spark creativity, and setbacks can inspire reinvention. 1.3.2 Building resilience. Every change we successfully navigate reinforces our ability to handle future uncertainties. Each challenge becomes a training ground for emotional strength and adaptability. 1.3.3 Expanding possibilities. Change forces us to explore new paths. When one door closes, another opens, often to places we never imagined we would go. The willingness to embrace change broadens our horizon and increases our potential for fulfillment. 1.4 The journey ahead. This book is designed to guide you through the often turbulent waters of personal transition. You will learn how to understand the psychology of change, build resilience to handle uncertainty, develop a growth-oriented mindset, create actionable strategies for navigating life shifts, transform challenges into opportunities for success. Key takeaways from Chapter 1. Change is inevitable, but our response determines whether we merely survive it or thrive because of it. Resistance to change is natural, yet it can be overcome by reframing our perspective. Every transition, whether planned or unexpected, contains the seeds of growth, resilience, and renewal. Reflective exercise. Take a few minutes to reflect on a major change in your life. Ask yourself, what made it challenging? What did I learn from it? How did it shape the person I am today? Write down your answers in a journal. These reflections will serve as a foundation for the work we will do in the chapters ahead. Chapter 2. The Psychology of Transition. Introduction. Change happens outside, transition happens inside. Change is an external event, a new job, a breakup, a move to a new city. Transition, however, is the internal process of adjusting to that change. While change can happen overnight, transition often takes time, as it requires us to mentally, emotionally, and sometimes spiritually realign ourselves with new realities. Understanding the psychology of transition allows us to manage not just what is happening around us, but also what is happening within us. It helps us to navigate the discomfort of the unknown and emerge stronger, clearer, and more resilient. 2.1 The 3 Stages of Transition. Psychologist William Bridges, in his work on transition, identified 3 stages that everyone goes through during significant life changes. 2.1.1 The Ending Stage. Every change begins with an ending. Before we can embrace the new, we must first release the old. This may involve letting go of habits, routines, or identities that no longer serve us. Grieving what we are leaving behind, even if the change is positive. Acknowledging that endings are not failures, but natural parts of growth. 2.1.2 The neutral zone. This is the in-between phase where the old life is gone, but the new life has not yet fully formed. It is often the most uncomfortable stage because we feel uncertain, lost, or even disoriented. Our sense of identity may feel fragile or undefined. We are asked to trust the process without seeing the full picture. Yet, the neutral zone is also a fertile ground for creativity and reinvention. It's the blank canvas upon which we can paint the next chapter of our lives. 2.1.3 The new beginning. Eventually, the discomfort gives way to renewal. The new beginning is marked by a sense of clarity about who we are and what we want. The formation of new routines, mindsets, and habits. A feeling of empowerment as we step into a life that reflects our growth. 2.2 Emotional responses to transition. Change is not just a cognitive process, it is deeply emotional. Understanding our emotional responses can help us navigate them with compassion and self-awareness. 2.2.1 Fear and anxiety. Fear arises when we feel unprepared or uncertain about the future. Anxiety often follows as we mentally project worst-case scenarios. These feelings are normal, but they can be managed through grounding practices like mindfulness, breathing exercises, or journaling. 2.2.2 Resistance and denial. Some of us cling to the past because it feels safer than stepping into the unknown. Resistance often shows up as procrastination, self-doubt, or even anger. Recognizing this as part of the process helps us move through it more gracefully. 2.2.3 Excitement and anticipation. Not all emotions tied to change are negative. Once we see the potential benefits of a transition, excitement and anticipation emerge. These emotions fuel action and inspire confidence. 2.3 Identity and self-concept in transition. One of the most profound psychological aspects of transition is its impact on our identity. 2.3.1 Who you were versus who you are becoming. Change challenges the roles, titles, and labels that define us. Someone who has spent years as a corporate professional may struggle when transitioning into entrepreneurship, not because they lack skills, but because they must adopt a new self-concept. 2.3.2 Rewriting your internal narrative. The stories we tell ourselves about who we are and what we are capable of play a major role in how we navigate change. Transition offers an opportunity to rewrite these stories in ways that empower rather than limit us. 2.4 The role of mindset. Mindset determines whether we see change as a threat or an opportunity. 2.4.1 Fixed versus growth mindset. Psychologist Carol Dweck introduced the concept of fixed versus growth mindset. A fixed mindset believes abilities are static, leading to fear of failure. A growth mindset sees challenges as opportunities to learn and grow. Adopting a growth mindset is essential to successfully navigating transitions. 2.5 Practical strategies for navigating transition. 2.5.1 Allow yourself to grieve. Even positive changes involve loss. Allow yourself to feel and process the emotions that come with letting go of the familiar. 2.5.2 Stay present. Rather than obsessing about what has been lost or worrying about what lies ahead, focus on the present moment. Mindfulness practices are particularly effective during this time. 2.5.3 Reframe the narrative. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" try asking, "What is this teaching me?" This shift opens the door to growth. 2.5.4 Build a support network. Transition can feel isolating, but you don't have to go through it alone. Seek out mentors, friends, or communities that encourage and support your journey. Key takeaways from Chapter 2. Change is external, but transition is an internal psychological process. Every transition has 3 stages: endings, the neutral zone, and new beginnings. Mindset, emotional awareness, and self-compassion are key to navigating transitions successfully. Reflective exercise. Identify a major transition you are currently experiencing or have experienced in the past. Write down which stage of transition, ending, neutral zone, or new beginning you were in or are in now. Journal how this stage makes you feel and what insights you gain from it. Chapter 3. Identifying your relationship with change. Introduction. How do you relate to change? Every person has a unique relationship with change. Some welcome it as a chance to grow, while others resist it fiercely. Understanding your personal patterns and responses is essential to mastering life transitions. By examining how you typically handle change, you can develop strategies to move through it with confidence rather than fear. 3.1 Your change personality. People tend to fall into distinct categories based on their approach to change. While these are not rigid definitions, they can help you recognize your tendencies. 3.1.1 The change enthusiast sees change as an opportunity for growth and innovation. Thrives in dynamic environments. Often leads transformation initiatives. Potential challenge. May overlook risks or fail to plan thoroughly because of overconfidence in adaptability. 3.1.2 The cautious adapter accepts change but does so gradually. Prefers to assess risks and create structured plans before acting. Feels more secure when transition is well managed. Potential challenge. Can become stuck in overthinking, delaying necessary action. 3.1.3 The change resistor views change as a disruption to stability and comfort. Clings to familiar routines and environments. Experiences anxiety or denial when faced with major transitions. Potential challenge. May miss growth opportunities by holding on to outdated habits or situations. 3.2 Understanding your triggers. To navigate change successfully, it's important to understand what triggers your resistance or fear. Common triggers include loss of control, fear that you will not be able to influence the outcome. Fear of failure, worry about making the wrong decision or not succeeding. Identity disruption, uncertainty about who you are without your previous role or situation. Financial or security concerns, fear of losing stability or resources. By identifying which of these resonate most with you, you can begin developing strategies to address them. 3.3 Assessing your adaptability. Adaptability is the ability to adjust effectively to new circumstances. The following self-assessment can help you evaluate where you stand. When faced with an unexpected challenge, A. Feel excited about finding a solution. B. Take time to process, then act cautiously. C. Feel overwhelmed and try to avoid dealing with it. When a major life change occurs, I tend to embrace it quickly and look for opportunities. B. Take time to adjust and create a structured plan. C. Hold on to the way things used to be. When uncertainty arises, I. See it as a chance to learn something new. B. Feel nervous but try to manage it. C. Feel anxious and wish for things to go back to normal. Scoring. Mostly A's, high adaptability. Mostly B's, moderate adaptability with room for improvement. Mostly C's, strong resistance, work on mindset and coping strategies. 3.4 Growth versus comfort zones. Your relationship with change is closely linked to whether you live primarily in your comfort zone or growth zone. 3.4.1 Comfort zone. This is where routines feel safe and predictable. While comfortable, it can limit personal evolution. 3.4.2 Growth zone. This is where learning, expansion, and transformation occur. It requires courage and willingness to face uncertainty, but the rewards are often life-changing. 3.5 Developing a healthier relationship with change. Once you understand your tendencies, you can begin shifting your mindset and habits toward healthier adaptation. 3.5.1 Practice microchanges. Start small, change your routine, try a new activity, or take on a manageable challenge. Small wins build confidence for bigger transitions. 3.5.2 Reframe fear as curiosity. Instead of asking, "What could go wrong?" ask, "What new possibilities could emerge?" Curiosity transforms anxiety into exploration. 3.5.3 Create a change map. Identify areas of life where change is needed and map out small progressive steps toward improvement. This creates a sense of control and direction. Key takeaways from Chapter 3. Everyone has a unique relationship with change, shaped by mindset, habits, and fears. Understanding your patterns allows you to approach transitions with greater awareness. Building adaptability begins with small steps, mindset shifts, and deliberate practice. Reflective exercise. Identify a time when you handled change well and a time when you resisted it. What was different about these two experiences? What do these patterns reveal about your relationship with change? Chapter 4. Building Emotional Resilience. Introduction. The foundation of thriving through change. Emotional resilience is the ability to recover quickly from setbacks, adapt to new circumstances, and maintain mental well-being during uncertainty. Without resilience, even small changes can feel overwhelming. With it, we not only survive transitions, we grow stronger through them. 4.1 What is emotional resilience? Resilience is often mistaken for toughness, the ability to push through without breaking. In reality, resilience is flexibility. Like a tree that bends with the wind rather than snapping, resilient individuals adapt without losing their core strength. Key components of resilience. Emotional regulation, staying calm and composed under stress. Cognitive flexibility, seeing challenges from multiple perspectives. Optimism, believing in one's ability to overcome adversity. Purpose, maintaining a sense of meaning through difficult times. 4.2 Why resilience matters in times of change. Change disrupts our sense of normalcy. It challenges our routines, assumptions, and sometimes our identities. Resilience acts as an emotional anchor, allowing us to process uncertainty without being paralyzed by it. Recover quickly from disappointments or setbacks. Find opportunities for growth in uncomfortable situations. 4.3 The Science of Resilience. Studies in positive psychology and neuroscience show that resilience is not an inborn trait, it is a skill that can be developed. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new neural pathways, means we can train ourselves to respond more effectively to stress and adversity. 4.4 Building Emotional Resilience. 4.4.1 Strengthen self-awareness. Resilient individuals recognize their emotional patterns. Ask yourself, what triggers my stress responses? How do I typically react under pressure? What helps me recover most effectively? Journaling and mindfulness practices can enhance emotional self-awareness. 4.4.2 Reframe negative thinking. Instead of catastrophizing, imagining the worst possible outcomes, practice cognitive reframing. Replace "this will ruin everything" with "this is challenging, but I can learn from it." Replace "I can't handle this" with "I have handled hard things before and will do so again." 4.4.3 Cultivate daily habits of well-being. Sleep. Adequate rest improves emotional regulation. Movement, exercise reduces stress hormones and boosts mood. Nutrition. Balanced meals stabilize energy and mental clarity. Breathing and meditation. Deep breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, calming stress responses. 4.5 Social resilience, the power of connection. Humans are wired for connection, and social support is one of the most powerful buffers against stress. Resilient individuals surround themselves with supportive, growth-oriented people. Seek help when needed rather than isolating. Offer support to others, which reinforces a sense of purpose. 4.6 Building meaning and purpose. A strong sense of purpose fuels resilience. People who believe their struggles serve a higher purpose, whether personal growth, contribution to others, or spiritual evolution, are more likely to persevere through change. Questions to explore. What values guide me through challenging times? How does this transition align with the bigger picture of my life? What positive outcome might emerge from this challenge? Key takeaways from Chapter 4. Resilience is flexibility, not the absence of emotion, but the ability to move through it effectively. It can be cultivated through self-awareness, reframing, healthy habits, and social support. A sense of meaning provides a powerful anchor during periods of uncertainty. Reflective exercise. Identify a recent challenge and write down how you responded. What helped you recover? What could you do differently next time to build greater resilience? List 3 small daily practices that would help you feel stronger emotionally. Chapter 5. Reframing your perspective. Introduction. How perception shapes your reality. Change in itself is neutral. It is neither inherently good nor bad. What gives it meaning is the way we perceive it. Two people can experience the same event, such as a career shift or relocation, and interpret it in vastly different ways. One sees it as an exciting opportunity, while the other perceives it as a devastating loss. The difference lies in perspective. 5.1 The power of perspective. Perspective is the lens through which we view life. It shapes our emotions, influences our decisions, and determines how we experience change. 5.1.1 Event versus interpretation. Event, a relationship ends. Interpretation, I'm unlovable versus this is a chance to grow and find a better match. The event is the same, but the interpretation changes everything about the emotional experience. 5.2 Cognitive reframing, a tool for transformation. Cognitive reframing is the practice of consciously shifting the way we interpret events. It allows us to see opportunities where we once saw only obstacles. 5.2.1 How it works. Notice the thought. Identify a negative or limiting belief. Challenge the thought. Ask, is this the only way to see this situation? Replace with a new perspective. Choose a viewpoint that empowers rather than limits. 5.3 Common perspective shifts in times of change. 5.3.1 From loss to growth. Instead of focusing solely on what has ended, ask, what can I learn from this? How has this experience prepared me for what's next? 5.3.2 From fear to curiosity. Replace fear-driven questions like, what if I fail, with curiosity-driven ones like, what might I discover about myself in this process? 5.3.3 From victimhood to empowerment. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, how can I respond in a way that strengthens me? 5.4 The role of gratitude in perspective. Gratitude is one of the fastest ways to reframe your perspective. It shifts attention from what's missing to what's present and valuable. Even in difficult transitions, there are things to be grateful for, lessons learned, support received, or new doors opening. 5.5 Practical strategies for reframing. 5.5.1 The flip it method. Whenever a negative thought arises, write it down. Then write the opposite, an empowering thought that reframes the challenge as an opportunity. 5.5.2 Daily perspective practice. End each day by asking, what went well today? What did I learn? How did I grow? 5.5.3 Surround yourself with positive influences. The people and media we consume shape our perspective. Surround yourself with uplifting conversations, inspiring books, and communities that encourage a growth mindset. 5.6 Reframing as a lifelong skill. Perspective shifting is not a one-time exercise, it is a lifelong practice. Each change in life presents a new opportunity to refine how we see ourselves, others, and the world. Key takeaways from Chapter 5. Change is neutral. Our interpretation determines whether it feels like a setback or an opportunity. Cognitive reframing helps us challenge negative thoughts and adopt empowering perspectives. Gratitude and daily reflection are powerful tools for maintaining a positive outlook. Reflective exercise. Think of a recent change that felt challenging. Write down your initial interpretation of the event. Now write a reframed version that highlights potential growth, learning, or opportunity. Compare how each interpretation makes you feel. Chapter 6. Developing a strong identity. Introduction. The role of identity in navigating change. Our identity shapes how we interpret experiences, make decisions, and respond to life transitions. When faced with change, a strong sense of self provides stability, clarity, and direction. Conversely, a weak or fragmented identity can leave us feeling lost, insecure, or overwhelmed. 6.1 Understanding identity. Identity is the collection of beliefs, values, roles, and experiences that define who we are. It answers fundamental questions such as: who am I? What do I stand for? What gives my life meaning? 6.2 How change challenges identity. Major life transitions often disrupt the roles and labels we associate with ourselves. A career change may lead to questioning: am I still successful without this job? A relationship ending may spark doubts like: who am I without this partnership? This disruption, though unsettling, presents an opportunity to reassess and redefine who we are, on our own terms. 6.3 The difference between roles and core self. Many people confuse their roles, e.g., parent, professional, partner, with their identity. While roles may change, your core self, your values, passions, and unique qualities, remains constant. Key insight. Building identity around core values rather than external roles provides a sense of stability during times of transition. 6.4 Steps to strengthening identity. 6.4.1 Identify core values. Values are guiding principles that shape decisions and behavior. Examples include integrity, growth, connection, creativity, and service. Exercise. Write down your top 5 values. Ask yourself: how do these values influence the way I approach change? Am I living in alignment with them? 6.4.2 Define your life vision. A strong identity is future-oriented. Visualize who you want to become, not just what you want to do. Ask: what qualities do I want to embody? How do I want others to experience me? What kind of impact do I want to have? 6.4.3 Embrace personal narratives of strength. We all carry stories about who we are, some empowering, some limiting. Resilient individuals rewrite their narratives to highlight strengths and growth rather than failure and loss. 6.5 Identity as a dynamic process. Identity is not fixed, it evolves with every stage of life. The key is to remain grounded in your core self, while allowing room for reinvention. Think of identity not as a rigid structure, but as a flexible framework that grows with you. 6.6 Benefits of a strong identity during change. Confidence. Knowing who you are provides clarity when making decisions. Resilience. A strong identity helps you weather uncertainty without losing direction. Purpose. It anchors you in meaning, making even difficult transitions feel purposeful. Key takeaways from Chapter 6. Identity is more than roles. It is rooted in values, beliefs, and personal vision. Change disrupts identity, but it also offers a chance for self-redefinition. Strengthening identity enhances resilience, confidence, and purpose during life transitions. Reflective exercise. Write a list of roles you currently play, e.g., parent, leader, friend. Then write a list of values and qualities that define you beyond those roles. Ask yourself, if all my roles changed tomorrow, what would remain true about me? Chapter 7. Goal Setting in Times of Transition. Introduction. Why goals matter during change. During periods of transition, life can feel uncertain and unstructured. Setting clear goals provides a sense of direction and purpose, helping you regain control when everything else feels in flux. Goals act as a compass, guiding you toward intentional growth rather than reactive survival. 7.1 The psychology of goal setting. Research in behavioral psychology shows that goal setting creates focus by defining what truly matters, provides motivation by offering measurable progress, reduces anxiety by replacing vague uncertainty with clear action steps. 7.2. The difference between goals and desires. Desires are abstract wishes, e.g., I want to be happier. Goals are specific, actionable, and measurable, e.g., I will practice gratitude for 5 minutes daily to improve my mood over the next 30 days. Transition periods require moving from vague desires to well-defined goals to maintain momentum. 7.3. Using the SMART framework. The SMART model is one of the most effective tools for goal setting. 7.3.1 Specific. Goals must be clear and well-defined. Example: instead of I want to find a new career, say I will research 3 potential career paths and schedule 2 informational interviews by the end of the month. 7.3.2 Measurable. You must be able to track progress. Example: I will exercise 3 times a week for 30 minutes is measurable. I will exercise more is not. 7.3.3 Achievable. Goals should be challenging yet realistic. Overly ambitious goals can lead to frustration. Overly simple goals can lead to stagnation. 7.3.4 Relevant. Goals should align with your values and vision. Ask, does this move me closer to the life I want to create? 7.3.5 Time-bound. Goals should have a clear timeline to create urgency and focus. Example: I will complete my certification course in 6 months. 7.4 Types of goals during transition. 7.4.1 Stabilizing goals. These help you regain a sense of security during periods of uncertainty. Examples: budgeting finances, establishing healthy routines, or building a support network. 7.4.2 Growth goals. These focus on long-term personal development. Examples: learning a new skill, developing emotional resilience, or exploring new career paths. 7.4.3 Transformational goals. These represent bold changes that align with your evolving identity. Examples: launching a new business, relocating to a new country, or starting a passion project. 7.5 The role of micro-goals. Large changes can feel overwhelming. Breaking them down into micro-goals, small manageable steps, prevents paralysis and builds momentum through consistent progress. 7.6 Aligning goals with purpose. Goals gain power when they are connected to a sense of purpose. Ask yourself, why does this goal matter to me? How will achieving it support my larger vision? What values does this goal reflect? Key takeaways from Chapter 7. Goal setting brings clarity, structure, and purpose to times of transition. The SMART framework ensures goals are actionable and effective. Aligning goals with values and purpose ensures long-term fulfillment. Reflective exercise. Identify one area of your life currently affected by change. Write down one stabilizing goal, one growth goal, and one transformational goal for this area. Break each into smaller micro-goals with timelines. Chapter 8. Strategic Action Planning. Introduction. Moving from vision to action. Having goals is a crucial step in navigating change, but goals alone are not enough. Without a plan, even the most inspiring vision remains an abstract idea. Strategic action planning turns intentions into tangible results by providing a clear path forward. 8.1 Why action planning matters. Reduces overwhelm. Breaking big transitions into manageable steps makes them less intimidating. Provides focus. Keeps you moving toward what matters rather than reacting impulsively. Tracks progress. Allows you to see how far you've come, which boosts motivation. 8.2 The anatomy of a strategic plan. A good action plan answers 3 key questions. What exactly do I want to achieve? Goal. How will I achieve it? Steps and strategies. When will I take each step? Timeline. 8.3 Breaking down the big picture. 8.3.1 Milestones. Milestones are significant checkpoints along your journey. Example: if your goal is to launch a new business in 12 months, milestones could include Month 1 to 2, market research. Month 3 to 4, business plan creation. Month 5 to 6, product or service development. Month 7 to 8, marketing strategy. Month 9 to 12, launch and customer outreach. 8.3.2 Micro steps. Each milestone is further broken down into small, specific actions. Example: market research may include reading industry reports, interviewing potential customers, and analyzing competitors. 8.4 Prioritization. The 80-20th rule. The Pareto principle, 80-20th rule, states that 80% of results come from 20% of actions. During times of transition, focus on high-impact actions rather than busy work. Ask: which task will move me closer to my goal fastest? Which tasks can I delegate, delay, or eliminate? 8.5 Overcoming action barriers. 8.5.1 Perfectionism. Waiting for the perfect time or plan leads to paralysis. Progress, not perfection, is the goal. 8.5.2 Fear of failure. Treat each step as an experiment. If it doesn't work, it provides data for improvement. 8.5.3 Lack of accountability. Find an accountability partner, coach, or mentor to help keep you on track. 8.6 Tracking and adjusting. Strategic plans are living documents. Review your progress regularly. Weekly, track small wins and adjust daily actions. Monthly, assess milestone progress and refine strategies. Quarterly, evaluate whether long-term goals still align with your vision and values. 8.7 Celebrating progress. Recognizing achievements, even small ones, builds confidence and reinforces momentum. Incorporate rewards or rituals for each milestone completed. Key takeaways from Chapter 8. Strategic action planning bridges the gap between vision and results. Breaking goals into milestones and micro-steps reduces overwhelm and boosts confidence. Flexibility and ongoing adjustments are essential for long-term success. Reflective exercise. Choose one of your major goals from Chapter 7. Break it into 3 key milestones and list at least 3 micro-steps for each milestone. Schedule these steps over the next 3 months. Chapter 9. Leveraging support systems. Introduction. No one thrives alone. While personal strength and resilience are essential for navigating change, support systems provide the external reinforcement needed to sustain growth. Humans are inherently social beings, and the presence of supportive relationships significantly influences how well we adapt to life transitions. 9.1 Why support systems matter. Research in psychology shows that people with strong support networks experience lower stress levels, adapt more quickly to change, report higher levels of happiness and overall well-being. Support systems provide encouragement, perspective, accountability, and resources, things that can make the difference between merely surviving and truly thriving. 9.2 Types of support systems. 9.2.1 Emotional support. This comes from people who offer empathy, understanding, and encouragement during difficult times: friends, family, mentors, or support groups. 9.2.2 Practical support. Some changes require tangible assistance, help with tasks, financial guidance, childcare, or professional services. 9.2.3 Inspirational support. Role models and mentors provide a vision of what's possible, helping you stay motivated and focused. 9.3 Building a strong support network. 9.3.1 Identify your needs. Ask yourself, do I need emotional encouragement, practical help, or expert guidance? Who can best provide this type of support? 9.3.2 Diversify your network. No single person can meet all your needs. Create a support system that includes trusted friends and family, professional mentors or coaches, peer groups or communities aligned with your goals, 9.3.3 Seek professional guidance. Therapists, career coaches, and financial advisors can provide structured support in areas that require expertise. 9.4 Overcoming the fear of asking for help. Many people resist seeking support out of fear of appearing weak or being a burden. Reframe this belief. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness, it is a strategy for success. Support is a reciprocal exchange. Helping others strengthens your relationships and community. 9.5 The role of accountability. Support systems are powerful sources of accountability. Sharing your goals with others increases follow-through because you are more likely to honor commitments when others are aware of them. Encouragement from others helps you stay motivated through setbacks. 9.6 Nurturing your support network. Relationships require care and reciprocity. Show appreciation for those who support you, and be ready to offer encouragement in return. Strong support systems thrive on mutual trust and contribution. Key takeaways from Chapter 9. Support systems provide emotional, practical, and motivational reinforcement during change. A diverse network ensures you receive the right kind of help when needed. Asking for help and maintaining reciprocal relationships are vital for sustaining growth. Reflective exercise. List 3 people who currently support you emotionally, practically, or inspirationally. Identify one area where you could use more support and brainstorm who might help. Reach out to at least one person this week to strengthen your support network. Chapter 10. Sustaining momentum. Introduction. The challenge beyond the initial push. Starting a new chapter in life is exciting. Motivation is high, and the energy of fresh possibilities carries us forward. But sustaining momentum, continuing to grow and progress long after the initial enthusiasm fades, is where true transformation happens. Many people stumble not because they fail to start, but because they fail to maintain consistency. 10.1 Why momentum matters. Momentum builds progress through small, consistent actions. Once it is established, it becomes easier to stay on track and harder to regress into old patterns. The key is to transform short-term motivation into long-term commitment. 10.2 The motivation curve. 10.2.1 The launch phase. The early stage of change is marked by high motivation and excitement. Progress feels effortless. 10.2.2 The dip phase. Inevitably, enthusiasm wanes. Obstacles arise, results may plateau, and doubts creep in. This is where most people quit. 10.2.3 The sustainability phase. Those who push through the dip enter a phase of steady progress, where habits become automatic and results compound over time. 10.3 Strategies to sustain momentum. 10.3.1 Create systems, not just goals. Goals set the destination, but systems create the path. For example, goal, I want to write a book. System, I will write 500 words every morning before work. 10.3.2 Use habit stacking. Link new behaviors to existing habits. Example, after I make my morning coffee, I will spend 10 minutes journaling. 10.3.3 Celebrate small wins. Acknowledging progress keeps motivation alive. Small rewards can reinforce consistency and build a sense of accomplishment. 10.4 Tracking progress. Use tools to monitor growth. Journals or planners. Digital apps for habit tracking. Regular self-check-ins to assess alignment with long-term vision. 10.5 Dealing with setbacks. Setbacks are inevitable. What matters is how you respond. Reframe mistakes as learning opportunities. Review what triggered the setback and adjust your strategy. Practice self-compassion instead of harsh self-criticism. 10.6 Staying connected to purpose. When motivation dips, reconnect with your why, the deeper reason behind your efforts. Purpose fuels perseverance when willpower fades. Key takeaways from Chapter 10. Sustaining momentum requires systems, habits, and connection to purpose, not just initial motivation. Small, consistent actions lead to long-term transformation. Setbacks are part of the journey. Resilience and reflection ensure continued progress. Reflective exercise. Identify one goal where your momentum has stalled in the past. What system could you put in place to make progress automatic? What small reward could you use to celebrate consistency over the next month? Chapter 11. Becoming a Change Leader. Introduction. Leading by example. Once you've learned to navigate personal transitions, you are in a unique position to help others do the same. Leadership during change is not about authority. It is about influence, guidance, and inspiring others through your actions and mindset. 11.1. What is a change leader? A change leader is someone who adapts quickly to evolving circumstances, demonstrates resilience and calm under pressure, encourages and empowers others to embrace growth. 11.2. Why leadership matters in times of change. People often look to others for cues on how to respond to uncertainty. Your ability to model strength and adaptability can have a ripple effect, impacting families, teams, organizations, and communities. 11.3. The qualities of effective change leaders. 11.3.1. Vision. Leaders provide a sense of direction, helping others see possibilities beyond immediate challenges. 11.3.2. Emotional intelligence. The ability to read emotions, both your own and others, and respond with empathy builds trust and inspires confidence. 11.3.3. Courage. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is moving forward despite it. Change leaders show others that bravery is possible, even when outcomes are uncertain. 11.4. Leading yourself first. Leadership starts with self-mastery. Maintain personal resilience practices. Live in alignment with your values. Continue learning and growing. Leadership is a journey, not a destination. 11.5. Guiding others through change. 11.5.1. Be a source of stability. Offer reassurance and calm in moments of uncertainty. Consistency builds trust. 11.5.2. Share lessons and stories. Personal experiences provide powerful guidance. Share not just successes but also challenges and how you overcame them. 11.5.3. Encourage autonomy. True leadership empowers others to make their own decisions and take ownership of their growth. 11.6. The ripple effect of change leadership. One person's courage to embrace change often inspires others to do the same. As you model resilience, optimism, and adaptability, you contribute to a culture where growth becomes contagious. Key takeaways from Chapter 11. Change leadership is about influence, not control. It begins with self-leadership. Vision, emotional intelligence, and courage are essential qualities of a change leader. Your journey can inspire others, creating a ripple effect of positive transformation. Reflective exercise. Identify one area where you are already leading by example. Who could benefit from your insights and experiences? What action can you take this week to support someone navigating their own change? Chapter 12. Living a Resilient Life. Introduction. Beyond navigating change, thriving through it. Resilience is not merely about recovering from setbacks, it's about growing stronger because of them. A resilient life embraces uncertainty, adapts to challenges, and transforms change into an ongoing source of learning and growth. 12.1. The essence of resilience. Resilience is built on three core principles. Adaptability, the ability to adjust quickly when circumstances shift. Optimism, choosing to believe that challenges hold opportunities for growth. Perseverance, continuing forward even when progress feels slow or difficult. 12.2. The long-term benefits of resilience. Emotional stability, reduced stress and anxiety when facing uncertainty. Improved relationships, stronger connections with those who share challenges and growth experiences. Greater success, enhanced ability to seize opportunities that arise from unexpected changes. 12.3 The resilient mindset. Resilient individuals view challenges as temporary, not permanent. Focus on what they can control rather than what they can't. Learn from each experience, seeing setbacks as feedback, not failure. 12.4 Creating a resilient lifestyle. 12.4.1 Physical resilience. Good health strengthens your ability to adapt. Prioritize sleep, nutrition, and exercise as pillars of resilience. 12.4.2 Emotional resilience. Practice mindfulness, journaling, or meditation to process emotions and reduce stress. 12.4.3 Social resilience. Cultivate strong relationships and supportive networks to reinforce strength during transitions. 12.5 Making change a way of life. Resilient living means embracing change as constant. Instead of fearing it, anticipate it and prepare. Stay curious and open to new experiences. Continue learning and developing new skills. Revisit your goals regularly to ensure they evolve with your life. 12.6 Leaving a legacy of resilience. Your ability to live a resilient life serves as an example for others, family, friends, colleagues, and future generations. When you thrive through change, you inspire others to do the same. Key takeaways from Chapter 12. Resilience is not just about recovery, it's about continuous growth and strength. A resilient life embraces adaptability, optimism, and perseverance. Living with resilience creates a personal legacy of courage and inspiration. Reflective exercise. Identify one challenge from your past that made you stronger. How did that experience shape who you are today? What daily practices can you adopt to make resilience a natural part of your life? Final words. Your journey continues. Successfully navigating through change is not a one-time process, it's a lifelong journey. With the right mindset, tools, and strategies, every change, whether chosen or unexpected, becomes an opportunity for growth, transformation, and fulfillment. Epilogue. The journey of becoming. Change is inevitable. Growth is optional. Throughout this book, you've explored strategies to face transitions with courage, clarity, and resilience. But beyond the tools and techniques lies a deeper truth. Navigating change is not about reaching a destination. It's about becoming the person who thrives through the journey. What this journey has taught you. Awareness, understanding your emotions, patterns, and inner strengths. Adaptability, learning to pivot when life doesn't go as planned. Action, turning intentions into measurable progress. Resilience, growing stronger through challenges rather than being diminished by them. Leadership, inspiring others by embodying change yourself. Embracing the unknown. Life will continue to bring shifts, some welcome, others unexpected. But now, you hold the mindset and tools to approach uncertainty not as a threat, but as an opportunity for expansion. Every ending becomes a beginning. Every challenge, a lesson. Every change, a chance to evolve. Moving forward. This book is not the end of your journey. It is the framework for a life of continuous growth. Keep revisiting the principles, exercises, and reflections as you encounter new chapters of transformation. Final thought. Change is not something to be feared. It is life inviting you to grow, expand, and rise into your fullest potential. The question is no longer, how will I survive change, but rather, how will I thrive through it, and who will I become on the other side?